What's up, guys? What's up? Give me 1 second here. Bro, I just sat through a 4-hour game. Tallahassee upset Gulf Coast 15-14 in extra innings. Dang. Can't get upset over that Auburn Georgia Tech game 8-7 loss without Lodi's. Yeah. Well, I had the well, actually, you know what? I didn't even realize that, Zach, because I didn't get home from our game until like 8 o'clock, and it was like in the 5th or 6th inning. Do you know why Lodi's wasn't in the game? Watching Louisville, Kansas, Oregon State, Hawaii, Louisville 2-2, or Louisville, Kentucky, Louisville 2-2, bottom 9, runner on second, no outs. Santa Clara just hit a 3-run nuke on Hawaii, 3-2. How'd the high school team do today? We won 9-3 against Whitfield, who was 9-1 in our region. Probably there's basically three top teams in the region. It's us. We're the only undefeated. We're now 10-0 in region. And then it's Whitfield Academy, and then Mount Perrin. So we play Mount Perrin, I believe, next week. But yeah, it was a big win. We had a 3 home run inning, 8-run inning in the second. Kind of just ended the game. They were done after that, and we ended up beating them 9-3. So yeah, it was a good night. But yeah, the Georgia Tech game, really. The only thing I saw that I just didn't get was in the 8th inning, you had runners on first and third with 1 out, with Von Lackey up, who's a guy who can play the speed game, and I just thought it was a good opportunity to safety squeeze, get the tying run in, and he ended up popping up to the infield, and then they don't get the run in, and then they lose 9-8. But Zach, why was let me pull up this Kentucky game. I know LSU's losing right now as well to Nichols. Wait, where is Kentucky? Throws runner out at second. How did they throw him out? But yeah, I don't know why Lodi's wasn't in the game. Let me text some people. I didn't hear why Lodi's didn't play. Oh, LSU had a 5-run. What's up, Buck? LSU had a 5-run inning. Oh, okay. Never mind. I guess. Never mind. Yeah, I got the Louisville game up right now. Oh man, that would have been the go ahead. That would have been the winning run, right? Canes, how did they throw the runner out at second? Pick him off or something? Lodi's had an upper body injury. Oh no. Hoping it is minor. Let me text a source here. So they picked Louisville's runner off second. Oh my gosh. That's killer. Nebraska upset my Kansas Jayhawks. Got picked when the batter missed a bunt. Oh. Buck, did Lodi's, was he out at the beginning of the game, or did he leave in the middle of the game? Because that is, let's see if we can do some Searching. Okay, so Lodis wasn't in the game. Yeah, because I just saw that. I just found the tweet of the lineup, and yeah, he wasn't. He didn't. I was wondering because I got home in like the 5th or 6th inning, and like Caleb Daniel kept coming up in front of Drew Burress, and I was like, "What's going on?" Samir Muhammad, 3 for 3, 1 home run, 6 RBIs, and he closed the game and struck out the side. He is nasty. I think half of Florida State is from Tampa Jesuit. I don't think Lodi started, but I didn't see the beginning. Yeah, he didn't start. The associate head coach of Jesuit is an FSU fan. Blessed Trinity looks overrated. Maybe Tampa Jesuit's just that good, because I don't think BT's overrated. Again, there's you have bad games, but BT's good. But I mean, what you guys tell me in Florida is like you don't even have to be in the school district to go to the school, right? So So now Georgia Tech. I mean, I'm trying to find out what's going on with Kyle Lodis. But so you've been without Kent Schmidt for like 10 games now. And if you're without Lodis, it's like all of a sudden, like those are big losses to. I mean, Kyle Lodis is one of the best players in the country right now, and Kent Schmidt was what had the best batting average on the team. So. Aren't those both Catholic schools? Yeah, I think so. Blessed Trinity is. The Miami of Ohio commit was pitching for them? Okay. Oh, that's, I believe, is that Novak? I think that's Novak. Tampa Jesuit is like Bellin Jesuit in Miami. Jesuit schools. Looked up Muhammad's PG profile legit. Where is he leaning for recruiting? Can Louisville find a way? I'm praying Miami, Buckby. I tag our coaches in everything of his. I know he is interested in us. Same with Landon Green. Look him up, Buck. He plays at A3 Academy. What is Louisville doing? Getting thrown out trying to steal third with 2 outs? GT didn't have Lodis and didn't pitch Patel or Payton. Got to beat Auburn at their place in 2 weeks. Yeah. Yeah, Buck. I don't know why I don't know why Louisville's stealing there. That had to be just on the player, and he just made a really bad decision. Just makes no sense there with 2 outs, 2 strikes. You're going on the swing. I mean, it should. You're either safe at home or it's a close play. What I'm hearing on Kyle Lodis is he's day to day with something upper body. I think we will land him, Buckby. He will make it to campus. Oh, will he make it to campus? Likely no. Yeah, that's the other issue, right? How about Florida beating Florida FSU and winning the season series? Yeah, it's crazy, man. Like, I don't know. Florida State, maybe Florida State's starting to kind of go through a little bit of a stretch here. I mean, it was a close game. But I mean, Florida. Unfortunately for Florida, I mean, at 1-11, it's just like there is literally no more room for error, right? Like best they can, if they win every remaining series, they go 12-6 the rest of the way, and that puts them at 13-17. That's if they win every series without a sweep. So they're going to need to win every series and probably going to need a sweep or two to feel confident about making the tournament. Watching his showcase videos, he's only 6'1", 174, serious arm length, giving leverage and velo. Yeah, I mean, again, so if you look at the Georgia Tech loss tonight, you're without Lodis, who's one of the best players in the country, and you're without Kent Schmidt still, and he's been out for 10 games now, or he's been out for yeah, maybe it's 10 or 11, 12 games. So I mean, those were two of your best bats in the lineup, right? So it's for them, they still put up 8 runs against Auburn, right? A really good SEC team. And it was definitely a winnable game. They didn't throw any of their any of their tier 1 guys out of the bullpen. And I do think that's more of you just want them to be fresh for the weekend, right? Like you don't want them to pitch 2 innings on a Tuesday, even though realistically they should be fine to throw on the weekend if they throw 2 innings on a Tuesday. But Georgia Tech, I was talking with some of the coaches at our high school game, and basically, like Georgia Tech just has to take care of business in conference. That's their first midweek loss of the year. I think they have maybe 8 wins, 8-1 on the midweek right now. And so they've done really well in their midweek games. But if they just go 7-8 the rest of the way in ACC play, they're 18-12. And they're a for sure host. Probably in national seed consideration. If they go 19-11, I think they're a for sure host or for sure national seed. Also, Kyle, can you explain how North Carolina gets 3 straight ACC series at home? I mean, that's just the schedule, right? That means they have to play. I mean, everyone plays the same amount road and home, but for UNC with how they've started to kind of put it together, that's a really good, that's a good stretch where you feel like, hey, we're playing 3 series at home, we can get 3 series wins. Again, UNC is still in the driver's seat. Like even Virginia, who's got, a couple games below 500, they're a couple 2 or 3 weekends away from being in a really good spot. Like if you're at the middle of the pack halfway through the season, like you're fine. You got to play well at the second half, but like you're not out of it, right? Florida's so far out of it that they have to win every series remaining, and they still might not make the tournament. And Keegan Burke and Cash Martin at Buckby, both of them play with our 2026 commit rookie Shepherd. Rookie Shepherd has been getting hyped for a while now. Will be interesting to see him pan out. Wow, 2-strike bunt for Kentucky. Great call by Nick Mingione. And I know a lot of coaches that would not bunt there. And definitely not with 2 strikes. But again, that's how the game's been played for 100 years, right? But just in the last decade, we've decided that that's not a good idea. That's not a good idea to bunt a guy over in the 10th inning when you're on the road and you want to play with the lead. Right? There's a lot of teams that would have just swung away there and guy might have popped up, might have struck out, might have hit the ball to third base and not let the guy advance. Now you got an opportunity to get a job done. And I always loved coming up with like infield in. Like, are you kidding me? It's a free hit. Like, they're all the way in. You just hit a jam shot to shortstop. It's a base hit. 2 of our teams went over there. Rookie is the real deal. I'm from Vegas. On Instagram, FSPN, who covers Miami-Dade high school baseball, said he's one of the best players he's seen. 2 of our teams went over there to play the top 3 Vegas teams. Mater Academy, 5 minutes from my house. Westminster Christian, A-Rod, and our head coach is our head coach's school. GT still at number 12 RPI. Just take care of business the rest of the way. Yeah. And again, like you got to look at it. You got to look at it like tonight you're without 2 of your best. I mean, again, they've been without Kent Schmidt for like 3 weeks now. So that's not a surprise. But you're without him and Lodi's. Again, that starts to, you're missing one of those bats in this offense. You don't feel it too much. But you lose that bat, and you lose Lodice's bat. You start to, and again, they still put up 8 runs against Auburn, right? Hopefully, in Lodice's situation, from what I've heard, he's day to day, and again, hopefully it's precautionary. Like, let's just let him chill and get healthy until the series this weekend. Kentucky gets the runner in, takes the lead 3-2. Rookie's a great kid, great hitter. The game is on YouTube versus Mater Academy. Rookie went 3 for 3 with 6 RBIs and 2 walks, was playing incredible defense. There's a reason he's rated a top 5 overall player in the country. What position does he play, Canes? Cap, what do you think of Matthew Kelly? ASU ranked for one weekend and it's gone. Yeah, it's unfortunate, when you're on the fringe of the top 25. So when you're, 23, 22, 24, whatever, you lose a series. All of a sudden, it depends on how many teams that are on the bubble of the 25 won. And so Arizona obviously was one of those. But Arizona State, as long as they keep playing like they have played, they'll cement themselves in the top 25 for sure. We have tons of really good players in Las Vegas. Yeah, Las Vegas is a really good baseball city, like high school baseball, a lot of really good programs, a lot of really good players out of there. Everyone knows, at least everyone in the baseball world knows Vegas is a great spot for baseball. God, my contacts are drier than normal right now. And Keegan Burke and Cash Martin, shortstop. Yeah, okay. That's what I thought. Wake looked like a top 25 team today. I mean, Wake is a top 25 team. We've talked about this, Zach. Like, Wake did not deserve to get dropped all the way out of the top 25 because we all knew they were good. But again, it's like this thing that, like, even if you're a top 15 team, you're probably going to lose a series or 2, right? You may not lose more than 2, but there's a lot of top 15 teams that will lose 2 or 3 series in conference a year. So, but then they come back and beat the best team in the ACC at the time. He's one of those perfect games, select festive, 12 under, 13 under, 14 under kids, Kyle. Okay. That makes sense. Oh, big breaking ball in the, not in the dirt, in the turf. Gets Kentucky into scoring position. Cash, a good player. I don't know the others. Dude, what happened with UCF? So much for me picking them to finish top 3 in the Big 12. Again, they still can, man. They still can. Everyone goes through, like most teams. Like I said, unless you're, generally speaking, if you're outside the top like 6 or 7 teams in the country, usually you go through a little bit of a tough stretch during the year, but you figure it out. So UCF may just be going through that right now. Rookie can also catch. John, I like Kentucky's coach. Yeah, and he's a coach he's been on the hot board for a lot of openings in the past couple years because he's done he's done just an unbelievable job at Kentucky, right? He's really turned Kentucky baseball into the big time. And again, I don't know how, Kentucky's they haven't been a team that's really good every year, but they're always good. and then they have some really good years. But he's been a heck of a coach, man. He's been a heck of a coach at Kentucky. So that's another name that will be thrown around this summer when some jobs open. And also, Kyle, who do you get nominated to be a perfect game select festive? If you look at those lists, 67% do end up being rated very high, but 30 to 40% end up being not top 500 or lower. How do you get nominated? I'm not exactly sure how you get nominated. I'm sure it has something to do with the rankings. But again, when you're talking like 12, 13 under, 14 under, all that stuff, there are going to be players who are really good at those ages that just don't develop and end up not being that good. Or like I played with a bunch of guys who like at 13 under, 14 under, they were really good. And then 3 years later, you're like, they're the exact same. And they're still a solid player, but they didn't like continue being a top 30 player in the country or whatever. They're 3-9 in the Big 12. They would have to basically win every series and sweep a couple. Yeah, I mean, that's not ideal. That's not ideal. Yeah, top 3 may be out of consideration now. I actually didn't realize they were that bad in the Big 12 so far, because they were so good just at the beginning of the year. The best player in Vegas is Brady Dallimore. Okay. I have a new candidate for most stupid baseball training device. Search for top velocity trunk accel. I'm not even looking that up. I'm not even looking that up. It'll ruin my night. The funny thing, guys, tonight too is, so the team we're playing in the high school game, Whitfield Academy, their head coach was the head coach at Wesleyan, the school I'm coaching at now. When I played against Wesleyan in the state championship, really good coach. And then their assistant coach is the former head coach at Wesleyan, who was let go or whatever this past year. So it was a big game for a lot of different reasons. One being they were 9-1 in conference. So if they beat us and we both finished at, one loss in the region, they would win the tiebreaker. But also because it was like 2 former Wesleyan coaches coming back into Wesleyan. So it was a big game. And it was the best arm. The pitcher we faced is committed to Washington. And I think he had a no-hitter and a perfect game so far this year, albeit probably in a run-ruled game, shorter game. But we put up 8 runs on him in the second inning, and he was gone after the second inning. And we hit him good in the first inning too. We had a big line out that would have put us on the board in the first. He's a top 100 player committed to us. His stats aren't impressive. He went 1 for 4 against Mater Academy. That game is on YouTube. Basic has South Azine. He is the guy. I don't know what that means, Cap. I think there's a typo in there or something. Basic has South Azine. All right, Louisville's out of the inning. They got to put a run on the board to tie it. And again, that's the only part of the game that I got to see for Georgia Tech where I just thought, again, when you're that late in a game and you got 1 or 2 more opportunities to tie it up and you got first and third with 1 out and you got a guy up who can bunt, you just do it, right? You secure that, and I know it's not 100%, but it's a high probability play, and you secure the tie, and then you're the home team, right? You have the advantage. Drew Burris had a big game. I mean, he was just big moments. He comes up big that's the thing about Burris. That's like that. It's that next level of an elite player. Like, he's not just statistically elite. He's not just he's a gamer. He comes up in big situations, gets big hits, had a big double in like the 6th or 7th inning to add on to the lead. or take the lead maybe. And yeah, to take the lead. And he just does that consistently. Like if you watch Georgia Tech games, when he comes up in big moments, like he delivers a high percentage of the time. Sorry, Tate Southazine, number 1 player in Nevada. Okay. They also have Ace Sapp, 2027 left fielder. I like him. Canes, are you just going to be my new scout for me? I think that's what you're going to be, Canes. Canes knows every player in the country. All right, bottom of the 10th for Louisville. Tune in, boys. Bottom of the 10th for Louisville. Need a run. Can they find a way on? Oh man, you gotta let that hit you. It doesn't feel good, but you get a ball thrown at you. My friend had a perfect 1,000 fielding percentage and 247 chances at first base in 2023. Is that impressive? He plays for Memphis. Yeah. Yeah. You don't make any errors, especially at first base, right? Because you get a lot of action, a lot of balls thrown to you. Very easy to make one error. Here's a quote from my source in Georgia Tech on Kyle Lodis. He's nicked up, should be fine for the weekend. That's nice to hear. Cap, laugh out loud. Yeah, I'm trying to help our staff get the best players. All of the staffs know about these kids. Yeah. Ooh, leadoff walk for Louisville. Leadoff walk for Louisville. Lefty on the mound, so you're not. It's going to be. If you're going to go for a steal here, you got to just go first move, probably. Now they'll know what kind of move the lefty has. Is he a read guy, right? With the lefty, what you're looking at is he a guy that can pick up his leg and is intense to go home, but at the last second he can just pick, right? There's some lefties that are really good at that and they can do that, but some lefties, they're either going home or they're picking off. And those guys, usually you can tell right away when they're picking off. So you always have to know that. Is this a guy who's a read guy, or is he just he knows where if he's going home or he's picking off? Laugh out loud, gotcha. Just trying to understand the game more. Yeah, man. I mean, at any position in the field, even in the outfield, like if you go, I mean, if you go a whole season with no errors, that's pretty incredible. It doesn't matter what position you're at, even if you're a pitcher. And those guys tend to actually make a lot of errors. It'd be interesting to see what Louisville decides. I mean, Louisville has historically always been a team that runs. Kyle, who has a better coaching staff to your knowledge? Arizona State? I think they both have really good staffs. I don't think it's like... I thought Louisville had a chance there, but did not get it that well. Fly out to right for the first out of the inning. Yeah, so Cap, I think they both have good staffs. I don't think one is, and I get, if you ask those guys, they'd be like, "Oh, we're way better," or whatever. But I think that they both have good guys. Arizona State has a Georgia. Arizona State has a Georgia Tech guy. I mean, Dan Jaffe. I'm good friends with Jaff. I talked to him a decent amount. Was talking to him about a player a couple days ago. I tag our staff and all those recruits. X posts have something of substance. Kyle talks all the time about what to post on X. If they post good stuff, I tag the stuff. Yeah. You're learning, Canes. You're learning. Coaches can't see everything. 100%. 100%. Oh, missed opportunity by Louisville there. I think the shortstop, yeah, I mean, Runner at first base should have read the shortstop right away and known it was getting down. What the shortstop was doing, Buck, is I think he thought it was hit soft enough that the second baseman may be able to cut it off and make a play at second for the force. But like if the shortstop's read was, I got no chance at this, which again, I mean, I don't know. Didn't get a great look at like his jump on the ball. But if he felt like I can't catch this, but it's hit soft enough, the second baseman maybe, you know, if the runner at first freezes, we may have a shot at second. That might have been what he was doing. But I do think the runner from first at Louisville, if he reads that properly, that should be a pretty easy first to third. Because it's hit high enough where you can get off a decent amount and get back in time if it's caught. Like as soon as you know it's going to get caught. But I think he just froze and made sure it was down, but he took way too long to get going. And if the kids see the Miami staff always in their post, they might get more interested and look up things about us. It's all mental and physiological. The more they see Miami, the more interest. Yeah, you're not wrong about that. Kyle, does ESA have agents? No, well, we don't have any like guys that work on the pro side. We're strictly high school to college, or like portal to another school, or JUCO to another college. That's what we do. Because to be on the pro side, you have to get a certification and all this stuff. And the thing is, to be an agent on the pro side, it's a lot of behind the scenes work. Like you're trying to get kind of deals for them with different companies. You know, if they need a new pair of spikes, you got to order a pair of spikes, send it to them. They need more bats. You got to order the bats, send it to them. And to be honest, on the pro side, you really don't make money, like legitimate, a large amount of money until you have a guy that signs like a big deal, right? Because even if you get a first round guy, you're getting 5% of that. So, you know, if you get a guy that signs for $7 million, you're getting $350,000. Which, don't get me wrong, that's great for 1 year. But again, the real money isn't like rolling in every year until you have guys in the big leagues that are making good money. Kane, just offer them a no-show job at your car dealership. Go old school NIL. Yeah, that's the old school, Buck. No, the old school was, hey, work a camp and we'll pay you $5,000 for the camp. Or you get a job at like the football game giving out tickets, but you never give out tickets. They could have. We will find out if it's true in the 27 class. That is the first class I'm testing with. The problem is we aren't winning. Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately, if you're not winning, it becomes a lot harder to recruit good players. Louisville ties it. And they get the runner to the third with 1 out. Here we go, boys. It's safety squeeze time. Safety squeeze time for Louisville. Safety squeeze time. Safety squeeze, please. Safety squeeze, please. Kyle, when you played, how prevalent did your pitchers have arm issues? Never. Like in high school? Like no offense to today's pitchers, but like our guys, and this was before like pitch count and all that stuff was like it was maybe right at the beginning of that stuff in like pro ball. But in high school, like we had guys to like 150 pitches in games, and you didn't hear anyone complain about an arm being sore, or maybe their arm was sore, but they were fine. What's crazy to me, and I hear this from all high school coaches, is how many like little injuries guys get, and it's like they miss a game or they miss 3 games because they got something wrong, but then like 2 days later they're fine. And I'm just like, so you weren't hurt, like you're just sore. There's a difference. And we're not safety squeezing. I don't understand this. It's the winning run is at third. And now they just stole second. Infield's in with 2 strikes. 0-2 count, but like what I'll never understand it, man. I'll never understand. Like you win the game with a bunt. No way we're swinging away. Yeah. I mean, I guess not. Kyle, it has officially happened. Are you ready to die of laughter? Look at one of our recruits we are recruiting just tweeted. Football recruiting is officially baseball recruiting. Yep. Announcing the scholarships at Georgia Tech and pro ball. I mean, no, dude, at Georgia Tech, of course you had some guys with arm issues, right? But it wasn't nearly as prevalent as is now. Like we didn't have 2 or 3 guys on the shelf with Tommy John. We didn't have, you had some little things that would come up, but you did. Yeah, Louisville hits the walk-off, like weak ground ball up the middle. I don't know, man. Like you just throw nothing but sliders, they're going to be able to put the ball in play. But in pro ball cap, you started to see it a little bit more. But again, nothing like what it is now. Nothing like what it is now. Still. I mean, because once you get in pro ball, you have guys that are all throwing really hard, and they've been throwing now for a long time in their life. But still, it was not nearly as prevalent as it is now. We just offered a 26 kid, and he posted, we offered him, I'm dying of laughter. Yeah. Bunts aren't sexy, Kyle. Yeah, I guess they're not, but they for 100 years of the game, that's how you won the game there. Now it worked out for Louisville, right? But I've seen it a bunch this year where people don't decide to just take the bunt and it doesn't and they don't score. And then I'm just sitting there like you have a very high percentage play that gets the run in, and we're not doing it. I just don't. And to be honest, it's not an excuse to, like I've talked to you guys about, like players do not know how to bunt anymore. Like their bunting form is bad. They don't have any feel for it because they don't do it. They don't do it in coming up, little league, middle school, high school. But again, at the college level, you can train them to do it, right? You can have a station in BP where they go and bunt off a machine. Now, some people may think that's wasting time, but it's not, because those things can win you 5 or 6, 7, 8, I don't know, games a year. And maybe if you don't bunt, you win 3 of them. So a 3-game swing seems worth it to me. Well, good news for a Georgia Tech fan is sounds like Kyle Lodise was not doesn't have any kind of major injury, just kind of nicked up day to day. What, Canes? I've noticed Oklahoma State takes the first pitch every time. I don't like that coaching. Yeah, I mean, if it's like anything, I mean, if you're just thinking like game theory, if you get predictable in your strategy, other teams can exploit it. So, right, there's some pitchers who going in, they have command issues. You may not tell your guys, "Hey, take first pitch every time," but you're saying like, "Hey, we got to be selective because we can't just make first pitch outs against a guy who may walk the house." And again, you're also thinking, all right, this guy's command's not good. He may have good stuff, but his command's not good. We can drive up his pitch count by being selective and maybe get him out in the third or fourth inning, right? So you have those meetings with your hitters sometimes when you're facing a pitcher that struggles with command. Then you face guys who are going to be in the zone a high percentage of the time. Well, you can't just sit back and let them get ahead 0-1, 0-2 every at bat, right? So you have to, like my dad would tell me when I was leading off a game, and it's very custom that leadoff hitters, take the first pitch. But my dad would tell me, once a series against a certain team, if we had a 3-game series, like you need to ambush one of those at-bats. Like one of those at-bats, and again, you're not swinging at anything, but if you get a good pitch to hit, you got to hit it because you're going to scare them out of the zone, and they're going to know that first pitch is not just an auto strike that you're taking. And so again, as an offense, you can't just run out the same strategy every day. It should be tailored to what you're facing. Again, even in high school, when I watch a pitcher warm up, I'm telling our hitters like, hey, everything's up. Like, get him down in the zone. Do not chase that ball at the top of the zone or higher. He's going to get us out that way. That's not an easy pitch to hit. Its hardest pitch to hit is the one at the top of the zone. Get him down. Be selective, right? And then you see guys warming up and they're throwing nothing but strikes. You're like, hey, be ready to hit. Like, be ready to hit. You get a good pitch to hit it. Be out front. So you change your strategy based on the pitcher. And again, in college, it's even easier because you got all the data on him. You got all the data on the arm. You know his strike percentage. You know with the slider, he throws 20% strikes. So, we can think of that as kind of like a pitch that we don't need to worry about. If you see slider, you take it. It's probably going to be a ball. Cap, I want to see a Kyle Wren highlight video. I'll show you one. I don't know what this music is. I don't like how it sounds, so I'm going to change it. Let's see here. I'll show you a couple, Cap, all right? And because you requested it, I can not feel vain pulling it up. But it doesn't hurt my ego to pull it up every once in a while, So this was in a Major League Spring Training game. I've told you guys this story about like the ability to reset an at bat and flush it and just move on to the next. So this was the first game in Major League Spring Training that I started. So I think I was in like I don't know where I was sitting in the lineup, maybe 7th or 8th. My first at bat, I come up and actually at the very beginning of the game, Craig Counsell he was kind of just ribbing guys. And he was like, guys like me and Kyle, we got to hit it twice to get out of the park. And like, we all kind of laughed. So my first at bat, I came up, terrible at bat, chasing stuff out of the zone. I ended up striking out. It was a bad at bat. And I came back in and I was just kind of joking like, man, that was bad. And everyone kind of laughed. So I come back up in this situation, 2-0 count, 3rd inning, runners on 2nd and 3rd, 2 outs. And I got into a 2-0 count and I'm just like, I'm just going to let it eat. I'm just going to let it eat if it's a good pitch. And this is what I did.
Being at the right place at the right time, Manny, that's what it's all about.
That's right. This one hit hard, ran, and way back, home run. Kyle Wren hit.
I don't even know why I did this little bat
Place at the
toss.
right time, Manny, that's what it's all about.
That's right. This one hit hard, ran, and way back, home run.
That was a big one of the best hit balls I ever had. This was a cool one. So this was later in the same spring training, and it was in the exhibition game in Milwaukee, tie game, and then bottom of the ninth, I think. And bases loaded. I come up. That was a total bat flip. I come up 1-2 count. I know I got to see it deep. 1 out, so I know if I can just put this ball in play, I can really run. I can beat it out. So this is the last game of spring training before I get shipped off to AAA. But this is what getting the job done looks like.
To left.
Do it again with the volume.
And the pitch. Swinging a base hit to left, and this one is over. Kyle Wren with a solid single, and the Brewers.
Anyway, okay. I'm done. Your batting average was nice. I've wanted to know, how do you think you'd hit Skeens? Man, Skeens is, nobody can hit Skeens, you know? I mean, like, he's the type of pitcher, the thing that makes Skeens just incredibly hard to game plan against on what your approach is going to be is he can throw like 5 pitches for strikes, and they're all like plus or better pitches at the big league level. So it's not like he's got 2 real weapons and a third distant pitch, or, you know, 1 weapon. He's got like 5. So you got to hunt fastball and hope you can react to something. Yeah, Bob Uecker called it. Yep. That was a total bat flip. Ripped it. Run hard out of the box, son. That was cool. Thanks, Cap. Yeah, it was cool that Bob Uecker called it. And actually, the first base coach there, Carlos Subero, I think was his last name. He was my AA manager for a few years, but then he became the first base coach in Milwaukee for a while. But that was the spring training after I had hit like 340 in AAA and like 300 at bats. So, and in that spring training, I hit like 340 or 350 with like a couple doubles, triple, home run, a lot of walks, some stolen bases, played good defense. So I thought after that spring training, I'm like, I'm good. Like, I've showed what I can do. I just got to play well and I'm going to get a shot. And then just never happened. Is that the same counsel whose son plays for Kansas? Yep. Yeah, he's the manager with the Cubs now, making big time money. But yeah, he was the manager in Milwaukee. I think the year after I got traded, because he was a special assistant to the GM. So he would travel around to the teams. And I remember him coming to see us in AA when he was the special assistant guy, kind of a rover. And then he became the manager. And now he's the manager with Milwaukee. His son is a big, strong kid. Yeah, good player. Good player. All right, guys, that's going to be it for me tonight. Time to go to bed. Let's all get some sleep.